Okay. Good evening and welcome to this session. In continuation of your CDP Child Development Pedagogy, the psychology part of CTET, we just have started, yesterday we have started individual differences. All right. So what are individual differences? That differences between one individual and the other individual. On the other hand, what are different types of individual differences, the intra-individual differences and inter-individual differences. And the important areas of individual differences also we have seen, to start with the intelligence, interest, aptitude, attitude, personality, and so on, so forth. Any worthwhile human endeavor or human characteristic, in that area you will find individual differences. And there we just started intelligence as general intellectual or mental ability. All right. I also have seen different definitions of intelligence as abstract thinking by Spearman or Terman, or ability to adopt, ability to find out the correlations, ability to learn, ability to create, and so many other definitions. Right. And what is not intelligence? That's also important, particularly in case of your analytical applied kind of questions. What is not intelligence? As yesterday we have seen, the skill, the knowledge acquired, the innate abilities, those are useful, related to intelligence, but not equal to intelligence. And today we are going to continue on that, the theories of intelligence. So thus the today's topic is theories of intelligence. What are different theories of intelligence, starting from your unifactor theory to the latest structure of intelligence theory. And most of the questions apart from the theories, you also have on the types of intelligence, particularly the 7 types of intelligence by Howard Gardner. These are the things we are going to see. If you are a CTET aspirant and have applied and seriously preparing, please be regular, and also you can visit my YouTube channel Yakaiah Podupaganti for other related videos as well. All right. Okay. So now the question is, let me just share this in our groups so that our other friends also join us live, and we go ahead to see different theories of intelligence and also types of intelligence. All right. Just a minute. Let me share this in our groups so that our friends and well-wishers also join along with us, and we'll go together. All right. Yeah. So how the things are going on, otherwise, how is your preparation, and any challenges, issues you are facing in the process of preparing for your CTET exam? Do not hesitate to write the same, share the same in our WhatsApp group, Telegram group, or in the description below these videos, so that we'll be able to do the needful to support your preparation as such, right? Okay, so I got this live started in YouTube. Thank you for all 421 subscribers so far within 1 month, almost not even 1 month. Today 26th, 27th, almost, let's say almost in a month. So many of you have responded positively and subscribed. Thank you so much for your continued interest and support. That makes us, me and my team, to move forward to give you the needful in your successful preparation of CTET upcoming season, December 2021 exam. All right. Yes. Let me share the same in our Telegram group also. As you know, Telegram gives that good provision all at one place. So wherever you are from, there is no restriction. We have got good ample of space and slots in Telegram. So you can join the Telegram group, CTET 21 Inspiring Teachers by Dr. Yakaiah and team. All right. Yes. Okay, with these introductory words, thank you once again, and we are good to carry on our session. Let's go ahead. Yes. All right, those of you who have joined, just can confirm me, audio and video are clear, loud, and we are good to go. From my end, yes, I could see audio is clear, video is also visible both from my mobile and also from the system where I can see it. All right. Yes, that's good. Let's move ahead from here. All right. Sorry. Okay, let me check any messages to begin with initially. Okay, I see there are live learners. There are no messages. That's okay, but at least you can confirm that loud and clear, stating that audio and video are good and we can go ahead. All right. Yes. Thank you so much for that. As I have announced, the topic for today is the intelligence theories of intelligence and the types of intelligence. All right. Okay. So where do we begin with the theories of intelligence? To name the theories of intelligence, as if you have studied as a part of your B.Ed or otherwise in your previous preparations for any of the teacher recruitment test, eligibility test or recruitment test. Yes, basically it begins with the oldest theory known as the unifactor theory. And then you have the two-factor theory by Spearman. And then you have multiple factor theory by Thorndike. We also have a group factor theory by Thurston and the structure of intelligence theory by J.P. Guilford. Don't worry, one by one we are going to discuss this, but to give you an outline what is ahead of us for today's discussion. Yes, for which I have prepared notes from my previous class sessions notes. So let me share that notes. Along with that, we can go ahead. All right. Yes. So let me share this. Along with me, you could see. All right. Yeah. Yes, it's good. It's a good view. Yes, right. Chalo. Theories of intelligence. The first and the oldest theory, which is also known as the traditional theory. On the other hand, sometimes is asked in the examinations as the theory which is not accepted by psychologists. The old original initial, before all these other developed theories were there was a theory proposed by Binet, introduced by Binet, supported by Terman, Stern and Ebbinghaus, known as unifactor theory. So what is this unifactor theory of intelligence says? Intelligence is caused by one general global factor. Whoever is having that factor, he is or she is intelligent. Whoever is not having, he or she is not intelligent. Accordingly, somebody has got that one factor, he is intelligent, so therefore he gets good marks in academics, he is good in art and crafts, he is good in games and sports, he is good in managing the relations, he is good in successful in all the areas he adventure into. Looking at some people, it appears because you have some all-rounders, but it's not true with every time, with everybody, in every case. All right. You also have people who are very good in one area, but miserably fail in another area, who are very well to do in one area and not so good to do in other areas comparatively. Under such circumstances, what do we say? This unifactor theory is not acceptable. That's the one thing sometimes asked in the examination. Which of the following theory of intelligence is not accepted by psychologists these days? Unifactor theory, two-factor theory, group factor theory, multiple factor theory. It is unifactor. This only was rejected, and later on other theories have their own advantages or criticism discussions and so on and so forth, but still they are being continued. All right. Okay. Chalo, let's move. According to this theory, that is unifactor theory, intelligence is determined by a single factor. One who is intelligent in one area is an intelligence in all areas, but this is not true in several contexts of day-to-day life. As we have just discussed, this is not true. One who is good in one area is not that good in other areas, right? Vinay Krishna, good evening, and other live learners. Good. Vinay Krishna became one of the most regular live learners. All right. Happy to see you people. Yes. Hence, this theory is not accepted by the psychology. What is that? Unifactor theory. After that, what has proposed is the two-factor theory by Spearman. I think he's very familiar, particularly Spearman rank correlation coefficient, especially SSC. Those who are not very comfortable with maths normally tend to learn this and manage to get through SSC mathematics. Thus, his name is popular. Otherwise, he is the one who has proposed by two-factor theory. In some state texts, this is a common question: who has proposed the two-factor theory? Okay, but CTET is not that kind of knowledge-based questions. But what it can, which of the following theories proposes not only a general factor, but also a factors related to that specific area influences the intelligence of an individual? Unifactor theory, two-factor theory, group factor theory, multi-factor theory. That is two-factor theory by Spearman. All right. Okay. Yes. So let's go ahead into the two-factor theory. All right. Okay. So let's move on. According to this theory of intelligence, intelligence is determined by two factors, namely one general factor G and two specific factor S. All right. I see some disturbance in the online relay. Those who are online, just please confirm how is it going on. Is that okay? Good. There was. Otherwise, I invite Abhi, editor, to look into the issue and resolve it as it's going on live. All right. So two-factor theory, which is proposed by Spearman, according to this theory of intelligence intelligence is determined by two factors, namely general factor G and specific factor. Yes. Yes. Yeah, we are good to go ahead now. Right, there was slight issue. See, hopefully it is resolved. Okay, okay, clear, right. Chalo, let's go ahead. In that case, yes. So what is the general factor G and specific factor S? What is the difference? There was a question previously asked on this concept. A general factor of intelligence is the one which influences all the areas of performance by an individual. G factor, the general factor of intelligence, is that which influences all the areas' performance. On the other hand, specific factor influences only that specific areas. To give you a concrete example, let's say a student is very well in mathematics. His performance according to two-factor theory is influenced by option 1, G factor, general factor of intelligence, option 2, specific factor, S factor of intelligence, option 3, both the above, option 4, none of the above. All right. Now tell me, what do you choose? Syed Mubin also have joined. Welcome, Syed Mubin. All right. Yes, number 3, both G factor general and S factor specific. All right. And thus there are also questions on the nature of G factor and S factor. Nature of G factor is the general factor of intelligence mainly influenced and determined by heredity. On the other hand, specific factor is influenced by environment, training, education, and learning. So previously there were several times questions asked on these aspects. Which of the following factor of intelligence is mainly influenced by environment? G factor, S factor, both the above, none of the above. So what do you say? It is both the above. All right? Yes. And then, which of the following factor of intelligence varies not only from one person to other person, but also within the same person? G factor, S factor, both, none of the above. Again, same options. So what is your answer? Yes, it is yes factor. As far as one person is concerned, because genetically fixed, once genetically fixed, it is G factor is common. Only it changes from one person to another person. But within the same person, depending on the area of performance, what it varies is S factor. S factor varies from not only from one person to other person, but also within the same person from one area of performance to another area of performance. All right? Yes. Chalo, let's go ahead. All right. Okay. Second option, Ramesh says. All right. Let's go ahead to see some more aspects related to the two-factor theory. All right. Yes. All the activities of an individual are influenced by G factor, that is general factor of intelligence, whereas performance in specific areas mainly determined by S factor. This we have discussed. G factor is determined by heredity, whereas S factor is highly influenced by environment and experience. This also we have discussed. G factor is constant in an individual, but varies from one individual to another individual. Okay. Which of the following factors varies from one individual to another individual? G factor, S factor, A factor, both 1 and 2. Like these options will give. From one person to another person, both G factor varies and also S factor varies. Please note that. Which of the following varies not only from one person to another person, but also within the same person? Only then S only. But G within the same person, it won't change. So have this clarity so that you will be perfectly answering the most appropriate answers. All right, that's the reason the last point I have mentioned here, whereas S factor varies not only from one individual to other, but also within the same individual from one area of performance or activity to another area of activity. All right. After this, the next theory comes is the multi-factor theory by Thorndike. You all are familiar with E.L. Thorndike, the trial and error theorist. Okay, so I have given him a pet name. Otherwise, lovely, I call him the chief guest of psychology, because you see memory, you see learning, you see intelligence, you see personality, any important area of psychology, there is a theory or a proposal by our chief guest Thorndike. Okay, please don't say psychology chief guest is Thorndike as said by Dr. Yakaiah. I just actually gave him a pet name because such a lovely person in almost all areas. He gives us some knowledge and helps the psychology. All right. According to Thorndike, there are several factors which influences intelligence. He did not say one factor, two factor, after that 3 factors. No. Right? Though it is known as multi-factor theory, several factors, but instead of the factors, he said, according to him, there are 4 aspects of intelligence. In fact, intelligence is influenced, according to Thorndike, by 4 aspects. The name of those 4 aspects, namely level, range, speed, and area. LRAS in that sequence, but sequence that is not important. If you want to remember that pretty well, this sequence you can have ASLR as ladies representative. Okay, so our chief guest on that day has come as a ladies representative, like a short form or a mnemonic you can remember. as ladies represented, ASLR, that is area, speed, level, and range. Why I say particularly in state TET examinations, which of the following does not belongs to an aspect of intelligence as given by Thorndike according to multi-factor theory? Like that also it is asked. So once you remember these four, any of those questions you will be able to answer most effectively. All right. Okay. Then Thorndike also has devised one test to assess intelligence. What is there? Somebody said one factor, two factor, he says multi-factor, 4 aspects. I will say there are 10 aspects. No. It's not just going to be accepted, but yes, he has devised that test. The test devised by Thorndike to assess intelligence is CAVD, where the C stands for sentence completion, for short completion to you to remember, sentence completion, A for arithmetic ability, V for verbal ability, and here D for directions, or the ability to follow directions. For short, C for completion, A for arithmetic, V for verbal, D for directions. That's how you can remember. And the test devised by Thorndike to assess intelligence is, what is that? CAVD. CAVD. All right. Yes. So last D stands for directions, that is ability to follow directions. Okay. Yes. Next theory of intelligence is the group factor or the primary mental abilities theory by Thurston. It is popularly known as primary mental abilities theory. Primary mental abilities theory or group factor theory proposed by Thurston. All right. So what according to Thurston? According to Thurston, there are 7 + 1 primary mental abilities which influences or which determines the intelligence. Originally proposed as 7 and later on one more is added. So therefore we call it 7 + 1. Otherwise it is together 8. Okay. According to Thurston or group factor theory, intelligence is influenced by or determined by a group of primary mental abilities. According to Thurston, there are 7 + 1 primary mental abilities. If you want to remember, there is no rule you must by heart. It will be useful sometimes, maybe helping you to choose which of the following belongs, does not belongs. Is proposed by Thurston. Such kind of questions to answer, particularly state TETs, mainly focusing on that dimension. CTET not much, but in order to answer some comprehension analytical questions also may be useful. I have these 7 + 1 factors like this: PV, NR, SWM. P for perceptual, V for verbal, N for numerical, R for reasoning, S for spatial, 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 W for word fluency, and M for memory. PV, NR, SWM. I also have given you a hint, which is in fact a mnemonic to remember these 7 primary mental abilities. PV Narasimha Rao for Social Welfare Ministry. During the period of regime of Indira Gandhi, it seems PV Narasimha Rao have worked as a social welfare minister. Sir, is it true? Don't ask me. Okay, it's true also, by the way, don't worry. But important thing for us is PVNR, PV Narasimha Rao for SWM, Social Welfare Ministry. P for perceptual, V for verbal, N for numerical, R for reasoning, S for spatial, W for word fluency, and M stands for memory. So you said 7 + 1, 8, but here only 7 are there. Yeah, okay, hold on. Originally, this R reasoning he has proposed as one determining factor. Later on, the R for reasoning has 2 sub-aspects, the inductive reasoning and the deductive reasoning. So therefore, at later stage, he has made that. Now this PVNR SWM, you could see here P for perceptual ability, V for verbal ability, N for numerical ability, R for reasoning ability, S for spatial ability, W for word fluency, and M for memory. For short to remember, simply P for perceptual, V for verbal, N for numerical, R for reasoning, S for spatial, and W for word fluency, and M for memory. The reasoning, you have two subtypes. See, later on reasoning was divided into two subtypes, inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. To remember this also, I have added the mnemonic hint here. See, the Insider book by P.V. Narasimha Rao. The book written by P.V. about his autobiography is The Insider. So Insider, you have inductive and deductive reasoning. Okay, somehow. Okay. So this is how I create abbreviations, particularly mnemonics, where things are very important. I have to import key concepts in learning, personality, memory, and here in intelligence, because you know these are the very important topics, and accordingly context I'll be revealing those mnemonics also. Okay, today, by the way, you have very good mnemonics to remember your structure of intelligence theory. Many faculty members also at many times face difficulty to remember all those, until just follow my session. You are going to be with ease and comfort able to remember and answer your questions. All right. The test prepared by Thurston for assessment of intelligence. Thurston also has prepared one intelligence test. You know, what is it? Test of primary mental abilities. Easy to remember. His theory is known as, yes, okay, group factor theory or theory of primary mental abilities, and the intelligence test prepared by Thurston is also known as primary mental abilities test, right? And the most important significant point sometimes is asked in examinations is, this theory led to the development of aptitude tests. At times can be asked, which of the following theory of intelligence is based for the development of aptitude tests? These days you see your SSC, RRB, railway, all will have by and large only these areas, right? Your verbal ability, numerical ability, reasoning ability, word fluency, grammar, language, perceptual ability, the sequence, all right, memory, some formulas are the procedures, right? So therefore, the important point here to remember before we conclude this is, it is your primary mental abilities theory which led to the development of aptitude tests, right? And the last important theory we are going to see, the latest theory, the comprehensive theory, psychologists agreed and research is still today going on based on this particular theory of intelligence. What is that? Structure of intelligence, SOI, otherwise known as Structure of Intelligence by J.P. Guilford. All right. Guilford has given this theory of intelligence known as Structure of Intelligence, SOI, by J.P. Guilford. What is it? According to this theory, intelligence is influenced by three special aspects. He did not say factors. The keyword used by Guilford is aspects or special aspects of intelligence. How many aspects are there? Three aspects, according to Guilford, do influence the intelligence of an individual. What are those three? Namely, contents, operations, products. Contents, operations, products. That's the reason it's also known as three-dimensional theory. You see, most of the books will be having this picture. Structure of Intelligence theory by Guilford, where you have contents on one hand, operations on the other dimension, and the product on the third dimension. How many contents? 5 types of contents. How many products? 6 types of products. And how many operations? 5 types of operations. When 5 types of operations are done on the 5 types of contents, 6 different products tend to come out together. 5 into 5 into 6. 5 5 are 25, 25 6 are 150 specific aspects of the factors influence intelligence, according to Guilford. All right. Now, at times the questions are asked, which of the following does not belong to the contents? Okay. Symbolic, visual, behavioral, memory. So, which does not belong? Memory, right? How do you remember? Yes. To remember this 5 types of contents, you have a small mnemonic, which I will reveal now. Listen carefully. SSVAB. S for symbolic, S for semantic, V for visual, A for auditory, B for behavioral. If you remember SSVAB, All the 5 types of contents are at your fingertips. SSVAB, symbolic, semantic, visual, auditory, behavioral. Now the question comes, sir, that is okay, but how to remember this SSVAB? Simple. Sri Swami Vari Abhayam. I have that mnemonic for you. See, mnemonic to remember 5 types of contents is SSVAB, which is Sri Swami Vari Abhayam. SSVAB, Sri Swami Vari Abhayam. S for symbolic, S for semantic, V for visual, A for auditory, and B for behavioral. So thus you can remember these 5 types of contents with the help of that mnemonic known as SSVAB, Sri Swami Vari Abhayam. If you want to note down, you are making a notes, please do note down these contents as well as the mnemonic to remember that. All right. Yes, Swami Vari Abhayam is there to remember contents. Now let's move on to the next operations. How many types of operations are there? 5 types of operations again. So what are those? Cognition, memory, convergent thinking, divergent thinking, and evaluation. Don't worry, to remember this also I have a beautiful mnemonic. What is that? C for cognition, M for memory, C for convergent thinking, D for divergent thinking, and E for evaluation. CMCDE. Here you could see my abbreviation created by me for last 10 years or 15 years. It has been helping the children to remember this. And all my students are proud to say any factor of intelligence, anytime, day or night, you ask them. CMCDE, which stands for Chief Minister Center for Distance Education. If any one of you get a doubt, where is this? There is no, to the best of my knowledge, Chief Minister Center for Distance Education. But in Osmania University, there is one PGRRCDE, Professor G. Ram Reddy Center for Distance Education. Like that, almost several universities have their own distance education centers. All right. Now I have created this name CMCDE, Chief Minister Center for Distance Education, for you to remember these 5 types of operations. CMCDE, C cognition, M for memory, C for convergent thinking, and D for divergent thinking, finally E for evaluation. All right, hope you have made a note. Otherwise, a screenshot, you can take it and we will be moving on. All right. Finally, the products. 6 types of products are there. Sir, what are those 6 types of products? U for units, C for classes, R for relations, I for implications, S for systems, and T for transformations. To remember these 6 types of products, UCRIST is the abbreviation. UCRIST. Sir, how to remember this UCRIST? Don't worry. I have a beautiful mnemonic which helps you to remember. UCR, unconditioned response, and IST, Indian Standard Time. Both familiar words. Okay, just use this mnemonic. Unconditioned response, Indian Standard Time. Any function, any important event, if you are called, it's a customary. Unfortunately, I'm not criticizing. I'm proud of the motherland, India, but just to remember. Otherwise, yes, one social bad custom we have is you have to go minimum 10 to 15 minutes late. Only then your value will be known. I don't know, it's a misconception or a habit, or what do you call it is. Sometimes I also will be belonging to that category, but as far as possible, I'll try to keep up time. All right. But functions, I have gone, marriage functions, sometimes on time, and I've found no. Even the organizers also not there. Groom and bride also not there. Or the family members also not there, right? Okay. Anyway, our intention is this, to remember this 6 types of products. UCR, unconditioned response, IST, Indian Standard Time. I have given that also here for your convenience. You could see here, mnemonic to remember 6 types of products is UCR, IST, unconditioned response, Indian Standard Time. U for units. If you say only unconditioned response instead of, things are not going to happen. So you need to do enough practice. Please note that practice makes a man and a woman perfect. That is important here. That is critical. Unconditioned response, Indian Standard Time. U for units, C for classes, R for relations, I for implications, S for systems, and T for transformations. You have to practice until this free flow of their abbreviation names to remember. Then you are good to go. Day or night, you ask me midnight, 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, I'll tell you this. I don't have any super memory, by the way. Please honestly let me admit that. Is by practice. That's it. All right. Sure. With this, all the important theories of intelligence done. The next subtopic, what do we have is types of intelligence. All right. If anybody asks types of intelligence, those who have studied Howard Gardner, you do recollect. Otherwise, basically, I'm sure all of you might have studied the 3 types of intelligence. Who is the person said there are 3 types of intelligence? Who else is our chief guest? Thorndike, all right? Yes, the first classification was given by Thorndike. According to Thorndike, there are 3 types of intelligence. They are the concrete intelligence, abstract intelligence, and social intelligence. You see the intelligent people, 3 broad categories. Somebody works hard, putting hands, legs, body movements. That's known as concrete intelligence, ability to work with the tools, concrete things. So that's first concrete intelligence. That is ability to deal with concrete experiences. For example, working with instruments, skillfulness, drawing a picture as it is, copy paste kind of thing. All right. Otherwise, creative drawing, go to again abstract thinking. Skills in handicrafts, in manufacturing the fan, spare parts, or other objects, or TV and other goods, electronic goods, in all these areas, particularly handicrafts, what is mainly required is concrete intelligence. Of course, don't worry, it's not just limited to one type of intelligence, they cut across. But for our understanding, clarity, we will look at like this. The second is abstract intelligence, which is ability to give new designs, new ideas, new models, etc. For creative writing, the following type of intelligence plays a dominant role. This kind of questions you can expect. Listen carefully, I'll repeat it again. You have to answer. Which of the following type of intelligence is mainly involved in creative writing? Concrete intelligence, abstract intelligence, okay, social intelligence, none of the above. So what is it? Quickly type in your response. Yes, it is abstract intelligence. Either creative writers, innovators, scientists, creative directors, not all directors, same hero, heroine, love story, villain, and then climax, happy ending. No, that's not a creative, direct, abstract intelligence, but it's otherwise, yes, I do agree. Cine director will have whole film in his mind before it was created on screen. So for which what is required is a abstract intelligence, right? Then social intelligence, ability to understand people and manage them effectively. The third type of intelligence according to Thorndike is social. The brand mark examples are the politicians. Okay, not all politicians. I'm not generalizing anybody nor criticizing. Please note that. But otherwise, how best they can manage their speeches, their words, their promises. They're convincing the people at the time of crisis. Nobody else can do that. That's the magic charm of the politician. In spite of all jokes and cranky writings about them, all right, I have a lot of respect to politicians because the kind of job they do, the kind of security they have, that's the thing. I also have the other half of it when some politicians do irresponsible things, personal things which are not expected by them, but otherwise in general, who else can have the highest responsibility where he himself doesn't have any security? At least your IAS officer has got a security, teacher has got their own security, at least government sector employees almost in Indian context. Tell me in Indian context, what is the security a politician has got? Tomorrow party may not give a seat, he may not win. Several things are possible. But in spite of that, Indian democracy is successful today to claim the largest proud democracy of the world. Yes. A part of credit goes to, definitely major part of credit goes to politicians, followed by, of course, bureaucrats, and mainly, ultimately, of course, the definition of democracy is people of India. All right. Okay. Let's not move into that political subtopic at the moment. Let's move on. Social intelligence, top example, politicians, sales representatives. The first talk, normally a homemaker says, we don't require your products. We have it already at home. That's fine, madam. You need not purchase, but have a glance at. See this new model. If you like it, 1+1 offer is there. 1+2 offer is there. Irresistible offers, and then gone. So how? Social intelligence, how to manage the people, how to get along with the people, how to convince the people. PROs, public relations officers, not all typical traditional government public relations officers, but there are both government and private public relations officers who use their social intelligence to manage the affairs effectively. All right. Okay. A salesperson happened to made a homemaker to purchase 3 objects where initial discussion she was refusing to, considering purchasing one itself. Which of the following type of intelligence? Mainly the salesperson be having? Concrete, abstract, social, all the above. He may be having all the above, but here what the description says is it is about social intelligence. All right. Okay. But for a long time it was believed, but later on, no, you can't just minimize or limit intelligence to only concrete, abstract, and social. So therefore, there, Howard Gardner, according to Howard Gardner, there are 7 types of intelligence. 7 types of intelligence by Gardner, or Howard Gardner is full name, for short, who is known as Gardner. He said it's not just concrete, abstract, and social intelligence, rather good linguistic abilities, musicians, sports, games, art, dance, drama, craft, so many areas are there in the life. And the concept and definition of intelligence is such a wider, able to understand, adapt, solve problems, learn, establish relationships, so many. Or Westler's comprehensive definition also says the 3 important dimensions: think abstractly, problem solving, adopt effectively. So how come you limit it only to 3 areas? So he has identified 7 types of intelligences according to Howard Gardner. All these are questions. Who proposed 7 types of intelligence? Howard Gardner. According to Howard Gardner, how many types of intelligence were there? 7 types of intelligence. Which of the following is not a type of intelligence as suggested by Howard Gardner? Here a little comprehension analytical question comes. So therefore you need to remember all the 7. How do you remember? Simply see, basic your concrete, abstract, social intelligence you do remember. Within this you have logical, mathematical. Abstract intelligence includes a logical, mathematical intelligence, for example, engineers. Then linguistic intelligence, ability to write good poetry, prose, novel, article, or story, dialogues, all this. Yes, this is one type of intelligence known as linguistic intelligence. Spatial intelligence, astronauts are those who work with those 3-dimensional things. So therefore, spatial intelligence. Musical intelligence, ability to create tunes, sing beautifully. This is another type of intelligence. All right. And body kinesthetic intelligence, games, sports, dance, yoga, drawing, art, craft, all this. Exceptional abilities indicates good creativity, good intelligence. So this is one type of intelligence known as body kinesthetic. Intrapersonal, social intelligence, Thorndike said that further, your Gardner said into 2. Intrapersonal intelligence and interpersonal intelligence. See, 6th, interpersonal intelligence, that is ability to deal with the people, sales representatives, front office executives. On the other hand, intrapersonal intelligence, socially matured, emotionally stable. For example, your yogis, sadhus, are ordinary homemakers, employees who are peaceful, who have a consonance to their thought and actions. That's it, simple. Brand mark of intrapersonal. Interpersonal, at least obvious. How you make friends, relationships, and all those, right? Intrapersonal is the consonance between your thought and action. What do you think you will do? What do, you will think. Think idealistically, but do in a different manner. Yes, something you are lacking, what is known as intrapersonal intelligence. All right. Yes. So these are the 7 types of intelligence. Okay. So after this, what do we have is the next upcoming topic, assessment of intelligence. Who is known as father of intelligence measurement movement? Yes, Alfred Binet for short. Binet from France is the father of intelligence, who has created the concept of mental age, and after that IQ, intelligence quotient, a concept has come. We have the formula, calculation, and IQ ranges. All these are also questions asked from time to time. So in tomorrow's session, we are going to continue that. Thanking you so much for your interest and the time. And please do, if you are appearing this time, CTET, please do watch other videos by visiting our YouTube channel, Yakaiah Podupuganti, Inspiring Teachers, and also write your comments or questions, queries, any in one of our groups, either WhatsApp or Telegram group, or also you can write down this particular video in the chat in your comments format, so that it enables us to serve you better as such. All right. Before I conclude, if there are any questions, queries from your end, please do type in the chat right away. I can address before we close this. Otherwise, see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. in my next Child Development Pedagogy live session. But however, now another session is there. The science pedagogy, the last session today for science pedagogy theory, and after that madam will come after 3-4 days with one multiple choice questions session. So I'll end this live session now, and I'll share one more link in our respective groups, so with which you can join, and science live will continue. If you are not a member of any of our groups, consider to join if you have related interest and getting benefit of these groups. Otherwise, directly you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and visit my channel homepage. There you will find a live icon. Click on that, automatically you will be able to join the ongoing live session daily, 7 to 9, 9:30, 7 to 9 minimum, and up to 9:30, 9:50, 9:30 we'll have the live sessions. Tomorrow Sunday, as usual, you will have a practice test, both paper 1, paper 2, which I will share in your respective groups. Please do complete by evening 6 and join us at 6 p.m. for the key and continued discussion. And we also are going to have a special guest tomorrow to give us some guidelines on preparation for Telugu. Don't miss the session. All right. Okay. As there are no queries at the moment, I wish we conclude this. Please remember, continued science session will be there. Let me close this. Yes. So thank you very much, and see you back tomorrow 7 p.m. for my session, and in the next live session by Science Pedagogy, Dr. Yakaiah.